People watching should be a mandatory British pastime. I'm not just talking it's a good idea and it's a nice thing to do every so often. I'm talking about it being mandatory. I think there should be laws in place that means that everybody should cover a certain time every week, people watching. There should be groups of people going out making sure that this legislation is adhered to. There should be people patrolling the street with pens marking off on a card whether you've done your required people watching or not, because people watching is fantastic, and people watching is free, and people watching doesn't make you fat, and people watching doesn't give you angst, and people watching doesn't cost you anything, and people watching doesn't make you turn to drugs. People watching is just the greatest entertainment known to man in the history of the universe. People watching. We all do it, and we do it subconsciously, I think, but what we need to do is get out there, people, and actually record your people watching. It is just the world's greatest entertainment. Have you ever sat on a bus or a train and watched somebody pluck their underpants out of their arse? Have you ever seen somebody picking their nose? Have you ever seen somebody enjoying a sandwich, enjoying food when they don't think anybody's watching them, and they go nom, and they're chowing down on it, and their eyes are rolling in the red, and they're singing along to the radio, and they're not making a noise and just makes them look like they're a bit of an imbecile. People watching is fabulous. Body language, you can tell whether couples are actually getting on with each other. Watch the body language. If he tweaks her ass and she gives a smile, you know that everything's okay. If she's half turned away from him, you know that something's wrong and he's not getting it tonight. People watching. People in crowds, just watch people in crowds. People in crowds are like animals. When you get in a crowd, it's like base behaviour. It's like primeval behaviour. You can see the anger on people's faces as they react to other people bumping into them or something like that. You can see people, just watch somebody open a door for somebody else, and if they don't get any kind of reaction, just watch the face and watch them cuss under the breath. It's fantastic what people do when they don't think they're being watched. But the ideal place, of course, is the bus or the doctor's waiting room. And don't feel guilty about it. It's their fault for being there. If they don't want to be watched, they should stay at home. People watching. What's the best age group for people watching? I don't think older people like me are as much fun, because we just tend to sit there and then go off into some kind of semi-senile world where we're kind of replaying old episodes of The Archers in our heads. No, it's the younger people. Then we've got active imaginations and are full of rohypnol. They're the best ones, aren't they? Young lads when they're walking down the street trying to look hard. And you know they're as soft as a chamois leather. People watching. People watching is fabulous. Do it. Do it. Just make sure you do it. When you do it, kind of think about it, register it and store it away. Because it's great entertainment to think back, to revisit people watching from your past. People watching from a couple of decades ago. That person on the bus who was doing all those facial twitches and snatches and that's about him, and pulling faces and all sorts of things. And they don't know they're doing it, and they don't know anybody's watching them, and they have a sneaky poke up the nose. Yeah, and have a look at it. Young people who think they're staggeringly attractive and they're walking around in the most ridiculous clothes because they don't realise that class doesn't come with just wearing spandex that's so tight you can see every little crink and wrinkle and hole and it's spot and blackhead, and they stand there and they think, and there I can see them looking around themselves, looking round, see if they're getting approbation off the general public. It's brilliant, because you're not. We're in shops, people queuing up, and then this little old lady comes and pushes in front of them. But because we're all English and we're very polite, and all you do when somebody pushes in a queue, you don't say anything, you just give them that tut, don't you? You tut, and it's the most devastating thing that any English person can do to another English person, is to tut at them. It's just awful to be tutted at, and that's what they do. Somebody comes in the shop, pushes to the front of the queue or pushes in the queue. Don't say anything, just watch it. It's great. You'll see somebody coming alongside of a queue and you think they're going to push in. And when they push in, you can see other people go. And they won't do anything. People watching is fabulous. I've spent many happy hours people watching. I suppose people have spent many happy hours watching me. That's a great thing, isn't it? It joins us together as a society. We can all watch each other and take the piss out of each other because we're all doing stupid things when we don't think anybody's watching us. Fantastic. People watch. Get out there and people watch. You'll thank me for it. It will restore your faith in human nature and make you realise that your fellow man is just something to laugh at. Go laugh at your fellow man. We'll see you on the flip, but in the meantime, I'll be watching you. Peace and love. Watching you.